A ver, Enrique, ¿cómo sale esta chacarera?
Tiene que salir buena, negro, que se venga la primera.
This is Uriondo, where we live. My name's Naomi. And Leslie. So I really like this area. I really like the view of the mountains out here. It's peaceful, it's quiet. But I have to say it's a little bit cooler here than what I'm hoping for. Yeah. Kind of wanting to escape that New Zealand winter. What do you think? Yeah, no, really peaceful, quiet. It's really nice in that respect. Just a lot colder though than we anticipated. Yeah. 26 k's from here in the city to Riha. It's actually a lot warmer year round. Yeah, I'm not too keen on the city though. Much prefer country life. Yeah, the country life. Yeah, definitely. We're both definitely in agreement there. The views are just beautiful out this way, so great. Hi! Welcome to our Kiwi Castle. Come on in. So this is our lovely vineyard. A bit nicer in the spring. And our beautiful home, so come on in. Go and have a look. Bienvenido. So this is our living area where we watch our movies and relax, and obviously the dinner table. It's a nice old adobe home. Yeah, it is. A little ancient. We're not too sure how old, but it's pretty old. I particularly like the windows in here and the arches. Aren't they all pretty? Yeah. So come this way, the kitchen's through here. Let's give you a bit of an idea. It's our kitchen for us, anyway. Of course, here in Bolivia you have to buy your own appliances. When you rent a house you don't get given anything really. In fact, some places are missing light switches. This is the first bedroom. This is one of the bedrooms, which is nice and cosy, decent size. A bit of a surprise for us, I think, was getting a room with a built-in wardrobe. I wasn't really expecting that, so that was a nice feature of this room. Okay, so this is the second bedroom. This bedroom actually has an ensuite, and a nice skylight even. It's a nice light room, this one. What was nice about this place was that the owners worked hard to redo it all and get it ready for us to move in, including redoing the bathrooms. Okay, this is the main bathroom for the rest of us living here. Again, it was redone by the owner, beautiful new tiles. A lot of work went into having a fully functional bathroom, which was something that was really important for both of us. We wanted gas, hot water and a flushing toilet. Yeah, and so now it's just our room. So Naomi and I share a room. Our other two bedrooms are occupied. So we've been fortunate enough to have quite a big size room. So we've been able to divide it in half and have a bit of a study area. And hidden behind here. This is our bed. So it works out really well for us. Sometimes. Yeah. We wanted to have our own bedrooms naturally, but yeah, that just wasn't going to work out. Temporarily, it's not going to work out as my sister's here for a few months, so she gets to have a bedroom. But maybe after that, our own bedrooms would be nice. So we look forward to that, as I'm not the tidiest person in the world. And Leslie is the tidiest person in the world. Not quite yet. Close enough. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a very brief tour of our home here in Bolivia. Would you come and see the backyard? Which is really one of our main features of the property, along with what is a beautiful house. It's the fact that we live on a vineyard. Of course, it doesn't have the view of the mountains that I was hoping for when I first moved to Bolivia. It was something we'd talked about, was because we're in the valley surrounded by mountains. I would have quite liked the idea to have a home with a beautiful terrace view of the mountains overlooking the vineyard. Yeah, but I'm certainly not disappointed with what we've ended up with, eh? No, it's been quite fortunate really.
So we decided on moving out of New Zealand because basically we had some pretty major earthquakes there. We flatted together in New Zealand for a while,
Yeah.
and we had a 7.1 earthquake, which we lost our little flat at the beach. And then after that, about 6 months later, we had another major one, a 6.3 scale earthquake, which killed over 180 people. So that was a bit scary, but not only for us, for a lot of other people too. But
Yeah.
we kind of decided at that point, oh, well, we've lost our nice little flat on the beach, let's maybe make a move and
It
go
seemed
and
to
explore.
provide a good opportunity, really, for us
to get.
to look abroad. It was something we already had talked about doing anyway, so it kind of just opened the way, really, didn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And of course, work-wise in New Zealand, I was actually quantity surveying for a rather large company. So I left that behind to go back to my other trade, painting and decorating, which then we were able to, obviously with Leslie, with her work and my work, we were able to save up enough money and venture
And here we are.
leave New Zealand.
Actually, here in the valley, there's not a lot of options for renting. There's quite a few empty places around, but the owners tend to live overseas or somewhere else in Bolivia, and it's very difficult to track them down. So I think that was probably one of our first challenges. We were concerned that we wouldn't be able to find a place out here.
Now, the valley's only got, how many people in this wee township? 1,500 maybe.
I'm
It's
not
pretty
sure.
dinky. And so we lived in a really nice hostel in the valley for 6 weeks. And the owner actually made it available for us to actually live in the hostel, which was really nice. He gave us a really good deal. But you were kind of keen to get really a place where you could settle down and call your own home.
Yeah,
really,
something a
weren't
little bit more homely, and
Yeah.
something that I could make a home, I guess.
you? Yeah.
It's a bit difficult to do in a hostel type situation.
We struggled to find somewhere, and then we came across this place that was actually being completely gutted and redone. And so we said to the owner of the house, we said that we'd be really keen to take it when it was finished, and asked her how much it was, and she says, well, it's ridiculously cheap, and it was. And so we said, great, when it's ready we'll take it. And so we just stayed in the hostel until it was available, basically, which took, 6 weeks.
It's a bee, goodbye. I think we really struck it lucky with this place,
We struck it so lucky with this place.
considering
really.
some of the other places we've looked at and just what's available here in the valley.
Yeah. So, like, we had a few conflicts in what we wanted, like, for instance, a view and a garden and our own bedrooms. but really, when it came down to it, we didn't actually have a lot of options. And so we decided to take this. We decided to take this place. So we chose Bolivia. I guess the main reason we chose Bolivia really was because we had friends here already that liked it here.
Well, I think it was an advantage having people based in a new country that neither one of us had explored before. But I think too, for me, is that I can live here for a good period of time on 3 months' worth of wages, which is great. I don't need to work while I'm here, so the cost of living, the cost of food, even power and gas here is incredibly cheap compared to what we'd be
Unreal.
paying at home. So I think that was a really strong reason for me to consider Bolivia as well.
I personally had always been interested in Bolivia. I've travelled a fair bit, and I've lived in London, I've lived in Italy for a bit, and that's always kind of appealed to me.
Well, it would probably almost be more of one of my concerns for coming over here, is the fact that it is such a poor country. Was I going to get medical care if I needed it? Was I going to be able to particularly communicate with my family back home? I've left all my family behind.
Yeah,
and
that was
so,
an initial concern, it was, wasn't it?
So I was a little bit unsure at first as to whether those things would be adequate here for me to be able to live here comfortably. I mean, I didn't want to live here and be slogging it. So,
Yeah, no,
you
that's
know,
it, exactly.
yeah.
Especially, we do have the
So-
comforts back home, and we didn't want to come over here and have to have cold showers in the middle of winter when it's 3 degrees
Exactly.
outside, and
Yeah.
we did want to have, our
Some
our
comforts.
certain comforts, didn't we? Hot water was a big one.
Yes.
But we just managed to get a lot more comforts than we initially thought that we might have
Anticipated,
didn't we? We've got a very nice place. It's very clean. It's tidy. We're able to keep it warm when it is cold at night. Through the day, as you can see, it hits 30 degrees very quickly, but at night it can cool down to below zero. So yeah, you need to be able to be prepared for the extremes. That's probably that's a concern that I probably had actually, was coping with the heat really in this country.
Well, I'm a bit of a sun worshipper, so
Yeah,
that was definitely a draw card for me.
Yeah.
The idea of escaping a New Zealand winter
Yeah, that's it.
was at the top of my list. Yeah, so it's all worked out well, and I mean I think the biggest bonus for both of us is that we're living in the heart of the wine region in Bolivia.
Wow.
What can I say?
That may have prompted some of our decisions. Yeah, good wine.
Some
Drinkable.
sacrifices we've had to make. Well, I think all in all, when we look at our concerns about moving to a country like Bolivia and what the benefits have been, well, the benefits have definitely outweighed any concerns we've had. We're living in the heart of the wine region here in Bolivia. We are not only living on a vineyard itself, but we are surrounded by vineyards, aren't we?
Yeah.
Just every which way you look, there's a beautiful vineyard, and then surrounding the vineyards are these beautiful mountains. You never get tired of the view, eh?
Yeah.
We just love it.
With the rivers and the creeks, and yeah, no, it's really beautiful. We're so lucky.